Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another podcast. Many attractive women are in nerdy packages. I'm going to tell you what, a lot of I've talked about this before, but this is one of those subjects that I'll go over again and again because I'm going to tell you what, a lot of men be missing out on these nerdy women. And nerdy women even understand that. Remember, I saw this tweet where it was a woman said, you got some of these nerdy women out here. A woman said this, got those asses and tits too, just like the IG model. Actually, they do. They just don't show it off the same way. That's all it is. They just don't show it off, but they be having the same bodies, same facial features, really. Because if you look at the women who come off as baddies, the biggest thing with them is they just fix up a certain way. They get that tight weave or hair extension or just plain get their hair fixed, be getting all the makeup and everything on, the false eyelashes, all that stuff. You know what? As an aside, baddies are just adjustables. Very, 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 very few women roll out of bed beautiful. Let's get that clear. But most of the women who are going to be considered baddies, they just going to have those tight jeans and all of that. But you got a lot of women who are more on that nerdy side. They ain't going to wear those 4-inch heels. They might wear those sensible heels or just some regular sweats or something. They ain't putting that, whatever their hair is, it is. Instead of wearing a ton of makeup or something, they just... wash their face, put on some eyeglasses, and go out. A lot of dudes be missing out on them. Those are diamonds. See, when I check out a woman, I check out her figure and everything. I check out her figure because I'm sitting back thinking, okay, which one would I rather have? Because when you get them naked, you got the same thing. And plus, trust me, I've been with a lot of women who would be considered nerdy or even awkward or something. You get them naked, shit, I'm going to be real with you. Sometimes they got better bodies than the baddies. Been with some baddies. And I'm like looking at the two, I'm weighing them because, well, first of all, when you're dealing with the baddies, the eyelashes coming off, that makeup come off, they might peel that extension back or whatever, or hairpiece back, and you sitting back like, huh? Seriously, I've literally dealt with some women. You get them in the bedroom, y'all do y'all stuff. And then in the morning, or you in a position to see them take it off, you just like, what? And they don't look that bad with the stuff off. They just look different. They just look different. I lost count how many times. You get that woman to sweat that makeup off or something, right? But the nerdy pack, and I'm going to tell you the beauty of the women in the nerdy packages. The beauty of them. Not only they be having the same body build and really the same beauty as the baddies, but then you could go to the comic book store with them. You could play that if you want to play that video game. Or if you want to have like that more intellectual conversation, you could have it with them a bit easier. Just to be fair, a lot of baddies can fool you that way, but they don't present that. The nerdy girl will at least present it right away. You can click on another level. And I'm going to tell you something else about those attractive women in nerdy packages. You don't necessarily have to have that cool swag to you. As long as you're in decent shape and you basically clean and got a cool personality, that's really all you need with them. They're a little bit more open. And I'm going to emphasize the word little. Let's just keep it clear. They run into a Mr. Goodbar feeling, and oh, trust me, they'll still get with them. But they're a little bit more open for just a regular man. Because, see, one thing with a baddie, and a lot of guys don't get this, the baddies, which a lot of guys are chasing, are very concerned about their image. They are extremely concerned, so they want a guy who has a certain image. When they out, they don't want to be out with some dude who's not standing out, don't got that drip. They don't want to be with that dude who's looking more average. He ain't looking like that fine dude or something. Because they just as much, that baddie is very superficial. See, understand something with women. Understand something with women, period. Not as much with men. Not as much with men. But with women, they more so look for a man who reflects who they think they are. Let me say that again. They look for a man who reflects who they think they are. So if a woman is on that nerdy thing, she ain't dressing like with that, magnetic type of clothes with those tight jeans on or something. She would tend to pay more attention to that guy who's kind of on that same vibe. In fact, they might see that guy who's real fine with the drip and not want to deal with him because they'll look at themselves and it's like, nah, he wouldn't want me anyway, even if they think he fine, right? But the nerdy women, the women in the nerdy package are more open to that regular guy. And like I said, more open to his intellectual side because the nerdy women tend to be more intellectual. So the women tend to be a little bit more open for him. Little bit more open for him, But see, a lot of guys don't get that. Well, I'm gonna tell you what, with a lot of men, so many busy chasing the baddies. They want the baddies and stuff, and I'm like, dude, stay in your lane. You missing a diamond. You missing a diamond. I mean, seriously, I dealt with some nerdy women. You get them neck, you be like, God damn, hold up, girl. You be sitting back looking at them like, hold up. I can't jump in. I gotta ponder this. Hold up. Let me just sit here for a second. Let me look. Good Lord. They be like fun. They be like the killer. And like I said, a lot of times they be in better shape. I'm gonna tell you why. A lot of times they be in better physical shape. Because for the most part, they weren't the partier, like going out drinking, smoking, and doing a bunch of crazy stuff, getting involved with a lot of trauma. See, when a woman, understand something, a woman's body reflects her trauma. A woman's body reflects her trauma and everything. So a lot of these women, they avoided a lot of major trauma. And also, too, on just a practical level, there is a tendency, notice I said tendency, for the women to have a lower count. And I'm going to emphasize the word tendency. Is that every single one? Hell to the no. In fact, I did a video a while ago saying someone could be undercover thoughts. And that's the truth. That's the truth. Some can. But for the most part, the tendency, the likelihood is she's probably had sex before, but the count is lower. There's a strong tendency, especially the younger they are. Their count is lower because a lot of guys ain't try to come at them. Now, when I really think about it, when I talk to women like that, even older women who might have been on more on the intellectual side, trust me, I know how to talk to women in such a way to get all the information out of them. To get all the information out of them and everything. You'd be surprised. Because, I don't trip with a woman if she told me her count. So women tend to be more honest with me. And I would just say, even though there's some people get upset if a woman even got a count of 3, I would say the counts tend to be in 5 to 10 range. And it only goes up as they get older. Like if it's a nerdy woman and she in her 30s or something, her count would probably be less than 10. In most cases. There are exceptions. But if she's in her 20s, especially for y'all young guys out there, her count, it's a good chance you run into a woman, her count is very low. I give it like she might have had 2 good relationships, and at least one night stand. And I just got to live with that. So, but there are many. Don't jump over those packages. Sometimes I see that nerdy girl, I'll be like, hey, how you doing? Seriously. So anyway, y'all. That's all I have for now. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace and blessings.